Winston Churchill, ladies and gentlemen, that's who we're talking about today. Winston Churchill. Well, did you know that my dog downstairs is called Winston? Not really after Churchill, we just like the name. Whatever. Hey, Endymion, how you doing? There are a lot of things that make Twitter/X, former Twitter, should I say, a really annoying experience sometimes. But really, one of the things that it's insane in terms of the sort of political battlefield that we have to deal with is the continuous hatred towards either ICE or Antifa, respectively, depending, of course, on which side of the political spectrum you inhabit. Or maybe you hate them both. I have no idea. But whenever we engage in this discussion, one of the things that happens is that we see the word fascist thrown around a lot. I mean, I myself have been the recipient of that word so many times that at this point, I've become completely immune to its effect. I don't even care. I just laugh. That being one of the reasons why people like me don't really take Antifa serious. I mean, I take them serious in the sense that I consider quite a few are a threat. But when they say this, there is no organization called Antifa. Antifa stands for anti-fascism. Oh, gosh. World War II veterans were Antifa because they fought fascism. You know, you are talking about my grandfather here. He has nothing whatsoever to do with you. Anyone who is against fascism is Antifa. No. There is no membership card. Anyone can be Antifa. Everyone should be Antifa. See, the reason why we don't take you seriously, and if anything, we think you are a real problem, particularly when you join violence, is because you call everyone fascist. You, just like a lot of radical leftists, call everyone a fascist. And by doing that, you literally nullify whatever meaning you thought you had to the idea of anti-fascism. Because for anti-fascism to make sense, the word fascism should refer to fascists, full stop. But due to the fact that you call the far right, the alt-right, moderate right, center-right, pure centrist, left-leaning moderates who are not left enough, these are all fascists to you, then that's a problem. Because you're not really anti-fascist, you're anti-discourse. You're anti, and the only thing that is really close to fascism in this point are your methods or modus operandi. With that being said, there is one thing, however, that I want to say, and I want to be a little critical as well on people on my side, and that is, people keep reusing this quote by Winston Churchill. And I really wish people would stop. Here it is. The fascists of the future will call themselves anti-fascists. You will see this a lot. There we go. There it is. The fascists of the future, Patrick tells us, the fascists of the future will call themselves anti-fascists, Winston Churchill. And there will be a lot of things like this. So I'm just going to make this one clear once and for all. Winston Churchill never said that. He never said it. And before you complain, you right-winger, and you complain, and you say, but Petro, why are you saying this? You're not helping us. You're helping them. No. Statements need to be based on factual truth. If you repeat a lie or you say stupid stuff, you just make us look stupid. Okay? So if anything, you should thank me. Both sides should thank me, because on one hand, the leftists will stop hearing that Churchill said that, and on the other side, conservatives maybe will stop making themselves look stupid with this incorrect statement. So, the statement real and historic? Yes, and I agree with it. But Winston Churchill did not say it. So who said it? Metaphor for president. So I've seen people state that Huey Pierce Long was the one who said it, but in my experience, for what I could look up, it said something similar, but it wasn't the quote. No, I think the closest I could get for verification was Ignazio Silone, not on Wikipedia, but I'm just showing Wikipedia because it shows the picture and the name, and I don't want to bother giving you the spelling, and I will not mispronounce it because it's an Italian, specifically an Italian politician and writer. And the quote that I could find was the following: the fascism of tomorrow will never say, I am fascism. It will say, I am anti-fascism. And I believe that this one is the actual real one. This is also mentioned on Wikiquote, where we read, this reminded me of what Ignazio Silone said in 1945, soon after he returned to Italy from his Zurich exile, open quotes, the fascism of tomorrow will never say I'm fascist, and it will say I am anti-fascism, close quote. And then there is this variant, when I met him in Geneva on the day of his scheduled return home after the long exile in Switzerland, Silone said abruptly, open quotes, if at a future moment fascism will return, it will not be so stupid as to say I'm fascism, it will say I am anti-fascism. Ignazio Silone, in memoriam, The Washington Quarterly, Volume 2, Issue 2, 1979. So at least differently from all the other ones, including Winston Churchill, at least here there is evidence that he actually said this, with the most reliable source being François Bondy, writing in the Encounter magazine in 1976. So at least when it comes to Silone, we have evidence differently from Winston Churchill, and this evidence that I've just brought to you is from 1976 specifically, and it's connected to François Bondy, as he recalled what Ignazio Silone said in 1945. Thus, the attribution to Silone appears to be genuine and germane, as it's based on a witness, but it is important to underline for precision that this is still a second-hand report, published 31 years after the alleged conversation, which could also explain why we have two versions of it. And this is probably why not only sometimes this is misquoted, but it's also misattributed, because it doesn't belong to an actual body of works or published books, but it's a recalling of another individual from a private conversation reported years later. So all in all, the quote, "The fascists of the future will call themselves anti-fascists," is a paraphrase, is wrongly attributed to Winston Churchill, but it's in fact a paraphrase of a real statement that Silone reportedly said to Bondy in 1945. You're welcome. And in closing, I actually made a lengthy-ish post on my X account, and if you're not following me on X, you're a muppet, and you can correct that through the link in the description and pinned comment. And I wrote, "Conservatives, please stop sharing this statement," open quotes, "the fascists of the future will call themselves anti-fascists," close quote, by Winston Churchill. Stop. I know you think you got a gotcha on Antifa, but the statement is incorrect. 1. Churchill never said it. 2. This is not the original historical statement. The real historical statement is to be attributed to Ignazio Silone, as reported by François Bondy, writing in Encounter magazine in 1976. We have two versions. The statement was made by Silone in 1945, soon after returning to Italy from his Swiss exile. Version 1. Open quotes, "The fascism of tomorrow will never say, 'I am fascism.' It will say, 'I am anti-fascism,' close quotes." There is also the variant version reported, open quotes, "When I met him in Geneva on the day of his scheduled return home after the long exile in Switzerland, Silone said abruptly." And we have version 2, open quotes, "If at a future moment fascism will return, it will not be so stupid as to say 'I am fascism,' it will say 'I am anti-fascism,' close quotes." Silone was based, and I would like to underline, by this I mean that it was based in this statement, not that I agree with all of his political takes, positions, history, and all the rest. I mean, in this statement it was based. And then I continue, "And I agree with the statement, but keep the facts and attribute correctly. Don't just repost. You're welcome." And then I tell them about this very video. Thank you. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.